Oh boy, hello everybody. So, this is Star Wars Galaxies Beyond. This is a, um, I guess they call them emulators. Star Wars Galaxy emulator. This is a version of the game that is maintained by just some folks, I guess. It's not official because the game obviously doesn't officially exist anymore. But this is Galaxies. This is a game I played for a very long time and very actively. I've never played a game the same way I've played Galaxies. Not before and not since. I kind of want to start up a new character. You know what? No, we'll go ahead and we'll continue where I left off here. Now, there is a few of these emulators, and I have 3 of them on my computer. One of them is this one, which is it's very much the new game upgrade period of the game, but they've done some extra work. They've added their own content. They've added a new class. I'm playing as a class that didn't exist in the game. It's called Vanguard. This was not a class when the game was officially out. So I am very interested in knowing, whether it's even remotely balanced or anything. But for now, I don't care. I'm just having fun, kind of exploring some new shit, and it's great. So right now I'm doing the tutorial, which I didn't like the tutorial when it was added, because this was not how the game used to start. This tutorial was added after the new game update, I think. What is my mission? Counterattack. Fight the Black Sun. It doesn't have any kind of specifics, so I guess I'm just gonna go fight some Black Sun. But yeah, this tutorial, I've never finished, necessarily. I did play it once, just to see what it was like, and I didn't like it at the time. But, it's not terrible. Sorry, I gotta get some hair out of the bottom of my mouse. I don't know where it comes from. It's irritating. Probably from my cats. So this is the space portion of the game, obviously. There is space combat, space flight, and I always really loved the space combat. Wow, that is bright. I don't know if that comes across in the recorded video, but Jesus, this is so bright on my monitor. That's insane. Now, this isn't a great demonstration of the space combat because, this is a fucking dirt shitty ship that they throw at you in the tutorial. This thing sucks. I'm used to flying an extremely expensive and well-made ship, and this thing is, the beginner garbage that I haven't flown in 10 years, well, more than 10 years, because I went through and I aced every pilot branch in the game, and I aced a couple of them more than once because I was kind of flaky about what I wanted to do. I would often just change sides and ace up another setup so that I could fly different shit. This isn't the most exciting demonstration of the space combat because, again, I'm in like the most garbagey ship. The enemies are brain dead and slow. Because this is sub-tier 1 enemies. These are like specifically the training area enemies. They're just terrible. But of course the ship they give you is terrible, so kind of makes sense. What is my objective? I'm kind of unsure. It just says fly into space and attack the Black Sun, so I'm kind of just doing it for now, I guess. But yeah, so this particular server, once again, is Star Wars Galaxies Beyond, and if you have a copy of Galaxies, I do recommend checking this out. It's interesting, because I imagine there are a bunch of people who played this. Oh, surprise. Yeah, there's probably a lot of people who played this game, and they started after the NGU, so they have no basis of comparison. I knew lots of people like that. Actually, my dad was one of those people. He never played the game before the NGU, so he had nothing to dislike about it necessarily. this was all he knew. So, and, you know, once I got used to the differences, I still played the game for as long as I did, so, you know, clearly it didn't put me off that much. And having played several different emulators, I must say, this still feels good by comparison. The combat upgrade, which I do have a server that I'm a part of that is the combat upgrade version, that one's called Star Wars Galaxies Restoration, which is also fun. And seems to be well made. I know I can't make that kind of judgment after playing it for a very short amount of time, but from what I can tell, it's very authentic and feels pretty much like I remember. The thing is, though, combat upgrade and new game update play differently. They don't feel the same. It goes beyond stuff like the differences in how professions work. It also extends to the feel of the game itself. I would argue that this is a lot more playable, but the original version is probably more, like, deep. Or, I say the original version, the combat upgrade. As for the original version, I haven't actually played on one of those servers yet. I was thinking about giving that a whirl at some point. I don't know when, but I do want to try it because I never got a chance to, because when I joined the game, like I said, it was after the combat upgrade. So, bullshit, I'm too far. That throws me off, too. This training space station, you have to be much closer to be able to land than at any other station in the game. I think the rest of the stations in the game, once you get out of the tutorial area, you can land from 1,000 meters. Yeah, I'm just kind of doing everything on this space station. I know there's probably no point, because it's not like I need to learn anything. I just lost whatever thread I had in mind. Yeah, I don't need to learn anything. I'm just kind of doing it because it's something to do. And also, because why not? I don't want to hurry through the game, you know? Because I definitely don't want to play too much of it all at once. I'm not trying to burn myself out immediately after pining to play it for so long, you know? So I'm still mixing it up and playing other games in between. I've barely played this at all, you know, on any given server. I've played a couple of different ones, because what I wanted to do was try and find one that I liked, you know, the most. That way I could kind of focus on one. So, you know, I like this one because, again, they do have custom content, and you know, part of that is the character class that they made, which I think that's great. That's a really cool thing to have done. It sets them apart from some of the other servers for sure. If you wanted a more straightforward experience that was more like what the game was, you know, before it ended, then I would recommend Star Wars Galaxies Legends. Legends is pretty good. It seems very authentic and also seems pretty bumpin'. I went to the Mos Eisley Cantina, and there was a shitload of people in there, and that was like yesterday, or the day before, maybe. I don't remember. Yeah, man, there was a ton of people in there, which is a good sign that people are just hanging out in the fucking cantina. Lots of people in there, so that was really cool, because I wasn't sure what to expect, you know, because I'm sure there's not a ton of people who are pining to play Galaxies, because I'm sure lots of people never played it to begin with, and even the people who did, some of them are probably just not interested in ever playing it again, necessarily, because a lot of people quit well before the game ended. You know, they were already done with it. Some people quit before the combat upgrade came out, and a lot of people quit before the new game engine came out. And some people quit without even trying it, which I think is, you know, I'm glad I didn't do that, because I still played the game for 5 years after the new game update. But, yeah, I had a lot of friends just vanish, and no way to contact them ever again. Which, by the way, if you're watching this video, and you played Galaxies, I originally played on the Shadowfire server, so if you played on Shadowfire, hit me up in the comments section and let me know who you were. I might have met you at some point. Yeah, this is weirdly, this is a strangely emotional experience, and it's not just because it's a game that I missed. There is so much attached to this because it's sort of like a song where a song can kind of pick up memories unrelated to the song, just like personal stuff. Like you were doing something and the song was playing, and now when you think of the song, you think of that particular memory. It's very much that way for me with Galaxies. Galaxies for me is, it represents like a 7-year period of my life, and there's so much with that. Like, especially a lot of stuff with my dad. Like, I remember before my dad started playing this, I would usually be playing it when I was home, and he would call me from work because we didn't live together. My parents were divorced, so he would call me from work, and we'd just be talking, and I'd be playing Galaxies while doing it. I'd have my ear and my shoulder wedging the phone against my head, and I just be talking to him about whatever, and just kind of doing whatever shit in Galaxies. And God, I remember just so many like little memories that aren't even necessarily significant, but I remember them because of how strongly connected they are, just to the fact that I was playing the game at the time. So it's impossible for me to be fair with this game to a certain extent. I can criticize things about it for sure. The game is not perfectly aged and beautiful and wonderful in every way. There are things that are kind of lame about it. And the thing is I know it's not the fault of the people who are hosting this, because the stuff that I remember not liking is like, that's part of the game. It's not because of the emulation. That's just the way it always was. And it's like almost any game. There are things about it that you're not gonna like, and I think that's true of every game I've ever played. I'm not someone who will say that everything about a game I like is perfect, because I don't believe that. Even games I'm super fucking bananas about. Like, I'm a huge fan of Dark Souls, but there are things I definitely hate about Dark Souls. Mostly locations. But yeah, there's stuff I don't like about Galaxies. Some things are irritating. For one thing, this might sound weird, I don't like the fact that it's an MMO. If I could host my own server and I could do whatever the fuck I want, I'm getting shot to shit. Jesus. This is getting a little worse than I expected. See, these are actually tier 1 ships. If you look in the upper right corner, this ship has a tier to it. A lot of them don't. See, like the one I'm targeting now, this one, it doesn't have a tier, so it's sub tier 1, which means it's dog shit. I don't know where that tier 1 came from, but it was definitely more well equipped, that's for sure. Definitely faster than what it is. And the space combat in this game is, I think I've said this 1,000 times, it's my favorite part of the game. I'm still going to play through the ground content and try to do all kinds of shit, because there's tons of stuff that I remember doing. A lot of what I remember doing was, see, this one's a tier 1. It's harder to catch him. A lot of what I remember doing is just kind of exploring. I had tons and tons of badges, because there were badges. I think WoW has basically the same concept. I think there's achievements or whatever. But, just go around and do stuff, and you get various things, and people can see them if they inspect your character, which I think is cool. It's fun to have like a big old thing filled out of like all the places you've visited that are significant locations. Like going to visit the Sarlacc on Tatooine, that's a badge. Going to visit Jabba's palace, that's a badge. And I remember spending a considerable amount of time just scouring every planet for every conceivable point of interest. There was a lot of them that were really cool. I'm not nearly as much of a Star Wars fan as I used to be. I used to be a lot more into it. I still like the stuff that I already liked, but I find it harder to kind of get into newer stuff. Fallen Order is not too bad. I've been playing a little bit of that here and there. Fucking didn't bother with either of the recent Battlefront games. I haven't watched a single of the new movies at all. I I don't know, I can't get motivated to give a shit. But yeah, limitation. This, you know, it's interesting. The maps are fucking massive. This is taking a lot longer than I wanted it to. I was kind of hoping to bop through these missions real quick and move on to something else, you know. But this part's kind of taking longer. I think it's because the places they're sending me spawn a lot of enemies, so I'm just kind of stuck perpetually fighting them because my dumbass can't run away. Like ever. That's a problem I had. Whoa! Okay, the booster I'm using, I don't know if that's a change or if it's because the booster is bad or something, but this thing is fucking uncontrollable when it's going off. Makes the fucking screen. See, look, there's another 3 already. It's ridiculous. I just have to disable their engines so they stop fucking spawning. Yeah, this just makes me thirsty for the real space combat. Once I get a good ship, good equipment, and fucking Droid Commands. That's the big one. See, when I was going through the game in the old days, I didn't know that there was a thing about Droid Commands, or at least I didn't take it seriously. And then I learned that Droid Commands can make a huge fucking difference. See, what you do is you put a flight computer or an astromech in your ship, and you give it commands that allow you to kind of make tactical decisions with what your ship's resources are being used for. So one of the most useful things you can have is a shield shunt. At least I think that's what it was called. And pretty much what it does is the capacitor, which is around my crosshair, there's a red bar. That is my capacitor energy, and that's what I use to fire my weapon. But if you have shield shunt, you can like forward your capacitor energy to boost your shield. So if you're taking a lot of damage and you can't quite, you know, catch a break, shield shunt can save your ass 1,000 times over. Shield shunt is so fucking useful. It's a complete game changer. And for the longest time, I just didn't use it because I didn't really know about it. In the old days, when I played games, I didn't look anything up ever. And I usually wouldn't find out about something in a video game unless I found out about it myself or someone told me. For Christ's sake. There is a lot of spawn action going here. It seems like they spawn very quickly. And that's probably a good thing, because if there was other players here, you know, you wouldn't want it to be too dry. But it's a fucking hassle getting home, man. I think I'm good. That ship seems to... Well, no, it wasn't closing distance. It just happened to be closing distance. Yeah, it's far enough away that it won't aggro. Usually if you're under 1,000 meters, that's about the range that they start to aggro you. Oh, I don't think I ever finished my point about the space station. When you're getting close to the space station, in this training area, you have to be like under 500 meters before you can actually land. And in the open parts of the game, you only have to be within like 1,000 meters. So it's not a huge difference, especially once you have a much faster ship. Because my speed right now, the number is 427. That's my speed that I'm currently sitting at. My ship in the real game, or the official game. I mean, this is the real game now for sure. But yeah, my speed on my best ship, it was like fucking 1,700 or something. So significantly faster. I was hauling ass, and I had really good equipment, and it was so fucking fun to go up in space and just whoop the fuck out of everything. You know, especially Corellian Corvettes, because Corellian Corvettes are kind of the first, like, truly terrifying thing you have to fight as a pilot. I guess aside from, what are they called? Gunboats? Those are pretty scary. But Corellian Corvettes are a significant step up. They're extremely dangerous. They can rip you to shreds if you don't know what you're doing. And I had just the perfect technique down to rip them to fucking pieces, and I would help people do it all the time. And it was a lot of fun. But yeah, we're going to head into space once again. Actually, you know what? For now, I'm gonna say that's enough for the video because I feel like I've probably been recording more than I think I have. So I'm actually going to go ahead and bop. I'll head back in there on my own. So anyway, here, let me just there, so it's not an ugly visual of the fucking infinite loop of bullshit. So that was fun. I didn't show off any of the ground combat, which is pretty straightforward. Like if you've played WoW, it's not horribly different. You have a toolbar with your abilities and you fire them off. I would say it's just different in the sense that it's Star Wars, you know. So there's blasters and all that shit. Oh, my cat is trying to get my attention. Archie Bear. Yeah. All right, so yeah, I'll go ahead and wrap this up so I can pay attention to my poor cat. But yeah, this is amazing. I felt when I fired up the first of these emulators that I tried, which was actually the one that was called Legends. When I fired up Legends, I felt an incredible surge of emotions when the menu music started playing. It just really took me to like a place I haven't been in so long, to multiple places. Because again, just so many memories came up of all the people I knew, you know, in the game and outside of the game. People that had nothing to do with the game. Like I said, it's just a lot of memories that don't necessarily directly connect to the game. It's just because I played it so much at the time. Yeah, kitty, I'll pet you in just a second, buddy. But yeah, God, it's wild that I'm playing Galaxies right now. I never thought I would, ever again, and you know, I've been thinking about it a lot more recently than before because I don't want to bring this to too much of a sour note, but I guess I might as well get this out of the way. I had a heart attack within the past few months, and then I had another one, and I just started thinking about a lot of stuff. I started thinking about things I missed and things that I'm kind of sad about. You know, like there's a huge part of me that, you know, if I could just put my consciousness backwards in time into my body and relive my not my whole life, maybe I wouldn't want to be 1 year old with my consciousness intact, but like, I don't know, starting from 5 years old, I would do it because there'd be so many things I could do better with, I don't know, with people, with myself, with everything, and I could really kind of appreciate things more the second time around because I know where some of those things end up. You know, like when I first started playing Galaxies, first of all, when I bought it, I didn't even know what an MMO was. I didn't know I needed a fucking internet connection. And then when I was playing it, the thought didn't occur to me until quite a while where I was like, this is going to end someday, isn't it? That thought really stuck with me after a while. Like, this is not going to last forever. I won't be able to play this in 20 years if I felt like it, you know? And now, thanks to beautiful people like the teams behind these emulators I'm using now, which I'll shout them out one more time just in case any of you guys might have Galaxies and might want to play this. There is the probably the most famous one, SWG EMU. That is the pre-combat upgrade emulator, which I haven't played that one yet. I am going to get around to it. From what I understand, it's fairly popular too, which makes sense because it is the most famous of all these ones. So I'm definitely going to give that one a try. The one that I just showed you guys was it's called Beyond. That one is really cool because again, it's the NGU, but it's got extra content that the people in charge of the project now are making themselves. Which again includes a new class, that's fucking cool. That's reason enough to fucking go back and check it out. Just have a different experience than you ever did before. Yeah, the other one that I played that was interesting was oh my god, I'm blanking, sorry. Restoration. That one is a combat upgrade era server, and that one is pretty damn sweet too. Because it's basically what I remember, for good and for bad. For one thing, I would say the responsiveness of your character's movement is much, much better in NGU versions of the game. But if you really are diehard about playing Combat Upgrade, I definitely recommend Restoration. And God, did I mention Legends? I want to make sure I mention all of these. Yeah. I don't think I mentioned Legends. This is the last one. Legends is a more straightforward port, or not port, emulation of Galaxies during the NGU. As in, there's no like custom class that they made. So if you want kind of the most authentic NGU experience, I think Legends is the way to go. And that one also has a really healthy population. There's lots of people that play that because I headed into Mos Eisley Cantina. There was a fucking shitload of people in there. So anyway, I'm gonna stop talking now. I feel like I'm rambling on too much. Thank you for watching. If you want to check out Galaxies and you have a copy, because you need a copy of the game, definitely do it. Check out one of these servers, and there's more than just the what, like 3 or 4 that I mentioned. There's more than that. One of them I tried, it didn't work, unfortunately. They either never sent activation emails, or my email is rejecting them and not notifying me somehow, which would be weird, but I don't know. I guess that's possible too. But that one, unfortunately, that one's Tarkin's Revenge, so try that one at your own risk. And there's a couple more, so, honestly, just fucking Google it, see what you find. But yeah, I can fully recommend, for sure, Legends, Restoration, and Beyond. Those are great, they work, and the community seems nice. Every step of it was nice and friendly. And I'm fucking excited to play it again. I am so happy that I get to do this. Ever, I never ever thought I'd see Galaxies again, like personally. So, fucking A. Anyway, thanks for listening to my bullshit. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll see you guys in the next one, which I've been having a long think about that. I'm going to talk for just a little bit more, but I promise, the video's almost over. I've been thinking about what I want to do next, because I don't know, I just never really seem to have any good ideas. This series of Tripping the Light Nostalgia, or Tripping the Light Nostalgic, not necessarily the greatest thing in the world. Certainly not original. Just me looking at shit that's old, or stuff that I remember fondly. Oh, my cat really wants my attention. Right, I really gotta hurry this up. So anyway, I've been thinking about videos, and I'm thinking I might start either making videos of when I play Galaxies, or maybe just streaming it. I'm not really comfortable with streaming on my PC because I haven't done it yet. I've streamed off of my consoles, and I'm sure there's more you can do with streaming on PC, but I'm sure I'd make a fucking idiot of myself when I try to do it for the first time. So we'll see. I am definitely considering streaming, though. That seems like that might be a lot of fun. And I think it might be more appropriate for making videos on Galaxies, because it's a little more freeform and relaxed, and I'm not worried about necessarily filling time or anything like that. So yeah, just some ideas, and I'm gonna go pet my fucking cat now because he's adorable. So see you guys in the next one, and once again, thank you for listening to my bullshit. See you guys around.